What's up everybody, I am Mongoose, you are awesome, and Core has released their plans for the jungle. Holy shit, they crammed a lot of information in my brain, and then immediately blew my mind by announcing the return of the Prime Dunk! Yes! They can't do this shit to me this early in the morning, my head damn near exploded. We'll get to dunking later, let's talk about some of the other interesting shit first. It's important to note that at this point it's all just things that they're testing, which is good because there was a lot I didn't care for.
We will be testing 15 different jungle minions that will make up 10 unique jungle camps, with each unit having their own special abilities and mechanics.
There was mention of minions that will jump over you, while range minions fire projectiles that you can dodge, and other minions that deal a lot of damage with minions that give them shields. Paragon jungling certainly got more and more uninteresting during the game's lifespan, and it will be nice to have a jungle that requires skill. But too much, guys. Too much. However, it's just testing, it doesn't mean that it's going to be in the final product. Hopefully they can find something that is both simple and interesting. They do seem to be set on having certain jungle camps be weak against certain damage types. I think they mean basic and ability damage. I don't know if they're bringing the physical versus energy dynamic back. We'll have to wait to see for that one. They named these camps in the video, but all you have to need to know is that when the jungle spawns in, it will not only be neutral camps, but also a few, special camps to take into consideration. It seems like they're really shooting to forcing the jungle to vary the jungle rotation instead of having a set route like we did in Paragon. They also said that you'll be able to pull the minions away from the spawn point at certain times to allow for new minions to spawn. Stacking camps is a strategy used in other MOBAs, and I really like bringing that concept into Core. I can see why they broke the videos up now because this one was almost too much shit to shove into my brain at once. So not only will there be specialized jungle camps, but there will still be jungle buffs. One granting movement speed and sustain while in the jungle, and the other granting CD reduction and mana. The main thing you need to take away from this is that they plan to make both bruisers and casters viable options for jungling. They're bringing harvesters back, calling them member collectors, but it's a harvester. Don't know if the keys are coming back with that. I hope not, because in Legacy it seemed like I was the only one to ever buy a fucking key on my team. Oh, what's our decker doing? On Eater and Lane. Your decker is putting down harvesters because the fucking jungler didn't buy a key. There's two things I don't like about how they have it set up now. There aren't any neutrally positioned harvesters that are located firmly on either side of the map. I would like to see something like Legacy where there are at least two on the river so you can get a leg up on the enemy by controlling the harvesters. The other thing I don't like is this charge mechanic they've gone with. You can increase the efficacy of the harvester by hitting a series of lights that show up in a random order.
Players may also empower this bonus through a charging mechanic, where players will have to aim and activate various targets as they appear in random locations on the Ember Collector's charging face.
I don't want to be sitting on a harvester pad playing whack-a-mole while my mid laner is getting their shit pushed in and screaming for help. I most certainly plan to bring some of this up to their attention, and hopefully we can see some of this changed. They're bringing back raptors, but there's only one. They're called Remnants, and they will grant a permanent buff. The buffs include movement speed increases, health regen, damage over time, and like an AoE minion buffing thing. You'll be able to stack these, even stacking the same one if you kill the appropriate remnant. I like this. The raptors always encouraged team fights and gave everyone an objective to focus on. With the way the pit is designed, going to take the remnant is going to be a meaningful decision, and that's always good. Now, the shit I'm pumped about, they're bringing back the Prime Dunk.
Finally, the Paragon of Agora buff can be channeled into the Altar of the Remnants, which is found within the Remnant Pit.
And the crowd goes wild. That's right, folks, the Prime is designed in a way that when it dies, it will drop the orb on the ground, and you will have to pick that shit up. No more long dong steals from the fountain, no more run-by piercing shots from Sparrow. If you're going to steal that shit, you're going to have to get in there and get dirty. Now, it seems like it will work a lot like how it did in Legacy. Whoever picks the Prime up will get a buff, but you won't be able to give your entire team a buff unless you dunk that shit in the Remnant Pit. Something that's a little different is that you get a recall and fountain regen buff when you kill him, and minions get a health and damage boost if you're around them. I assume this is mainly for defensive purposes. If your core is getting pushed hard, you can take the Prime, recall fast, and try to use your minions to push the lanes back out. Whatever, if you guys have never experienced the Prime dunk mechanic, it's pretty crazy. The entire enemy team is going to be stacking on the Remnant Pit to prevent the dunk. Everyone is going to be focused on whoever is holding the Prime. Different strats like having one person stay in the pit while the rest of the team kills the Prime, and then Muriel ults her ass over to that person so she can dunk the Orb Prime really quick. Decker, by the way, is the fucking LeBron James of Prime dunking, sealing off the whole team and then jumping over motherfuckers for the win. The way they've done it is unique though. If the enemy team stacks on the pit to prevent an Orb Prime dunk, then your team can use that initial buff to push the shit out of their towers while they're just kind of standing around with their thumbs up their asses waiting for you to try and dunk. I'm super fucking excited about this. They also talked about designing the jungle in such a way that it feels like a really wild area with lots of verticality, ganking avenues, and vegetation, but by that time, I was so fucking hyped up about prime dunking that I really didn't give a shit. I'm out of here.
Mango!